Welcome. My name is Megan Mermaid, and I'm the author of Mermaid Mindset Makeover and the Mermaid Empowerment Oracle deck. And I'm so excited to be here today to bring you the energy of the new moon in Leo. Yes, finally, Leo season. We are done with the sad summertime sadness of Cancer, and we can step into the starring role of our reality with all of this beautiful Leo energy that is beckoning you to step into the role of the main character of your life. So, this energy report will be a message that is relevant from August 4th through August 18th before we have that full moon. So, just know that the energy that is shared in this video is relevant for the next 2 weeks. And these next 2 weeks are huge. Huge. We are right in the middle of the Lionsgate portal, which began on July 26th, which is my birthday, the start of the Galactic New Year. We have the height of the Lionsgate on August 8th. Mercury goes retrograde on August 5th, stationing direct right at the time of this new moon. Oh my goodness. Hold on to your hats. There is so much shifting. I'm going to talk a little bit about the new moon first and some of the transits that you can expect to experience and how they'll affect you. And then we'll dive deeper into the topics of the Lionsgate, the theme of this galactic year, and also talk about how to prepare and excel in Mercury retrograde. So, the energy of this new moon in Leo is coming in hot. It is sextile to both Mars and Jupiter in Gemini. So when we put Gemini energy and Leo energy together, we feel social, we feel witty, we feel sparkly, and we want to be seen. And I feel like this is the energy where this new moon is preparing us. We've done so much inner work in Cancer season, and now we're ready to step forward and to be the leaders and to be the examples of what it looks like to embody higher frequency energy. Leo is all about joy. It's about creativity. It's about romance. It's about our inner child, but also other children. And it's really about embracing how you shine uniquely. All of us are this beautiful fractal of God consciousness that will never, ever be replicated. So, Leo energy invites you to stand proudly and say, I am the king or the queen of my life. I stand on the throne of my personal power and I call the shots. So, with Mars and Jupiter making a sextile to this moon, whatever goals, whatever dreams, whatever visions that you've had, this is the time to make things happen. But, and there's always a but, Mars and Jupiter are also going to be squaring Saturn on August 14th, right in the middle of Mercury retrograde. So we need to take advantage of this powerful, motivating, amplifying, electric energy at the beginning of August. Because if we don't, we could miss that window and we might start to get weighed down by doubts or fear or lack or insecurity. So the way that I see it is almost like we're tending to this garden at the beginning of the month and we're planting our seeds and we're starting to water that garden. And if we do that work, we'll start to see things sprouting. But if you kind of feel the jubilation and charisma of this energy and it allows you to get distracted, then when we hit the mid-month mark, you might start to feel those obstacles. So I'm sharing this with you to plant that seed in your consciousness that this is the time to take action. New moons are a time where we set our intention for the next lunar cycle. And it takes us on a journey from new moon, where we set that intention, to waxing moon, where we receive that first initiatory experience that kind of challenges us and teaches us to grow and commit to that desire. Full moon is when the light is shined on whatever needs to be changed. Secrets are revealed, information is given, and we receive some type of culmination. Then waning moon is the time where we start to understand, to figure out those solutions for whatever arose in that full moon energy, whatever chaos emerged, we start to organize it into a new path, a new timeline. And then dark moon, the 3 days prior to any new moon, is the time where we go within and we integrate. And when we start to follow this powerful lunar cycle every month, we become in harmony with the universe, in harmony with flow. Our joy is the most important thing that we can give to the universe right now. Our happiness, our passion, our drive. And Leo is saying, get inspired, get out there, get out of your comfort zone. Do that thing that excites you, but also terrifies you, because the universe is contributing to that leap of faith, that growth, but you've got to come to the edge of your fear. So think about, what is your intention for this new moon? What do you want to accomplish? Because not only do we have this new moon, but we're in the middle of the Lionsgate portal, which is the most auspicious and powerful time of the year. When we are in the Lionsgate portal, Sirius, our sun, and planet Earth are speaking in this harmonious conversation where wisdom from the light of Sirius, which is the most information that is available upon the planet, is being downloaded. And so we are able to receive epiphanies, breakthroughs, downloads. We're able to overcome obstacles that we would not do in other times of the year. And it's an opportunity for us to reinvent ourselves in some way, shape, or form and decide what character we're going to play as we step into this next galactic year. I'm so excited. August 9th, I'm going to be doing a Lionsgate activation ceremony. This is my first channeling ceremony in over a year. Last year was all about groundedness and being an ordinary human. And now suddenly the stargates are opening up again and the galactic realms are calling. And so they're asking for us to listen and to know that they're here with us, where it seems like we're going through the most dire and difficult times on the planet. In some ways, yes, we are, but the old is falling away so the new can come in. And that's why these galactic energies want to support you. They want to guide you in recognizing how much support you have and in following through on the projects and the dreams in your heart, because there is no better time. There is no time, really, but there is no better time than now, with all of this planetary support that is guiding you in becoming the you that you have always wanted to be. Now, another thing that I want to bring up is last year, when we were in the Lionsgate portal, Venus was in retrograde. How I've envisioned last year's energy compared to this year's energy is that in that portal of manifestation within the Lionsgate, it was like this rubber band was being pulled back, 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 back. We were asked to heal our hearts and to heal our relationships and our finances and all of these Venetian qualities, which did not feel very good. Maybe you went through some heartbreaks. Maybe you went through some financial setbacks. Maybe it just felt like nothing that you were doing was really having any external results. And all of that is okay. Whatever you felt, I know I did. It's been a tumultuous year. But think about it. All of that energy has been pulled back, 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 back. And now that we are in this next Lionsgate portal, it's suddenly like the rubber band is just going to shoot forward. And so in many ways, you're going to be catapulted into this higher timeline. Dreams that you have been waiting for years on are finally going to be realized. And so it's important to stay grounded, but also to really focus on your mindset work and to trust that the best is yet to come. Lionsgate is also a time of prosperity. The 8 is the infinity. It is the lemniscate. So that means that there is infinite potentiality within the Lionsgate, and there's infinite potentiality within this new moon. So dream big. How amazing can life be? That's where you want to focus, because the thing is, we got to cultivate that joy. We have to activate our dream. We have to call in the higher wisdom. And then whatever we receive, we have to give in service to the planet that needs it. So it's not about detaching, but it's about allowing ourselves to be fully embodied, fully realized beings of joy and bliss and self-mastery. And then whatever we receive, we give it right back. Whatever we receive, we give it right back. Whatever we receive, we give it right back. And Leo is also this energy of generosity. So in this new moon, think about how you can be of service, how you can give, how can you love. As long as you are always giving, you will always be taken care of. Then there's Mercury retrograde. So what's going on with that? Mercury is going to be retrograde from August 5th to August 27th. And so generally in Mercury retrograde, it's a time where we go back and we revisit all of the lessons, all of the experiences, whatever has happened since the previous Mercury retrograde. And sometimes even before. Isis has just joined us. Say hi, Isis. Hello. Mercury retrograde is not a good time to start things. We want to finish and complete whatever needs to be complete, gather all the pearls from our previous experiences, and then move forward. How this might play out with the Lion's Gate is that we might receive some type of very powerful activation, but we might not actually see all of the fruits of our labor really starting to pay off until the end of the month. And that's why we have to be very careful about that August 14th window, because when we're in that Mercury retrograde space, it might be like, I created all of these intentions. I did all the work, Megan Mermaid. Nothing is happening. I'm right back where I was, or I'm dealing with this situation again, or this person has come back. And so what I've heard from others is that in this energy, it's very important that we revisit and heal the past, but keep focusing on the future, where we're headed towards. So that means that if certain people are returning back to your life, you've got to ask yourself, what am I learning from this person? What did I learn? What do I still need to forgive? What do I need to let go? And with all of that being said, does this person deserve a space in my life? When we talked about the full moon in Capricorn energy, it was about really getting clear about who has access to you and who gets to be in your energy field. And this is going to be very important this year. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that when I talk about the galactic energy signature of this year. But what's really coming to me about Mercury retrograde is we have to really extend the spirit of grace to ourselves and to others, because we're all learning and we're all triggering each other. So I encourage you to not just cut people off or follow any false wisdom that you shouldn't talk to your exes or you shouldn't engage in any old energies that are returning. Often they're returning because there's something that's unfinished. That's what Mercury retrograde does for us. It helps us to finish what is unfinished. But you also have to remember that you are a different you than the one who started whatever that experience or relationship or connection was. And that person is also a different version. So how can you choose to show up in this version of you and to meet that person in that version of them with a space of grace and an open heart, and really ask, what is the best possible outcome for this relationship, for this connection, for this situation? Already set that intention in this new moon that you are available for the best possible outcome. Sometimes that will mean cutting people out and just saying, you know what? I'm ready to complete this pattern. I can't continue this in my life. Sometimes it might mean having a conversation that gives closure or healing. Sometimes it could mean that there's some type of energy that reinvents itself and you could start a brand new chapter with someone or with another experience that felt like the door had closed. So just be open to all of the possibilities and don't limit yourself. The energy of this galactic year is about the blue rhythmic storm. And what that means is that we are really being guided and initiated by fire this year. And it's almost like our higher self is purifying us through this fire. And when we think of fire, the Sirian blue flame is this very powerful energy of divine will. So it's like everything that is not in alignment with divine will, with our highest timeline, with the highest timeline for all and the highest good of all, it's burning away. And so that's why this idea of storms is so prevalent. It's like lightning medicine, where it's very transformative, it's very awakening, but it can also kind of shake you off of your center. And so it might feel that there are moments this year that are very chaotic or very challenging, or it might feel like things are rearranging themselves very quickly. But I was watching a video when I was sort of researching this idea of grief the other day and heartbreak. And there was somebody that was talking about buffaloes and how when there's a storm, buffaloes literally run right into the storm. And so often when we're dealing with grief or heartbreak or other uncomfortable emotions, we might want to numb ourselves or distract ourselves or not feel that pain because the pain can be all consuming, just like the storm can be all consuming, the fire can be all consuming. But what if instead you walk towards that uncomfortable emotion? You walked towards that discomfort. You walked into the eye of the storm. What would change? Ultimately, it would lead to that next transformation, that next epiphany. And so we're being asked to have the courage to go into the eye of the storm, whatever that storm is, and to allow whatever is not truth to be burned away from our body, heart, mind, and spirit. But what is also interesting about the energy of this galactic year is that in the process of all of these storms, we're being asked to cultivate this energy of like our spaceship or our energy bubble, our starcraft, where we're sort of traveling along. And I kind of felt that way the other day when I created this playlist. I've really been listening to jazz standards and vocalists like Doris Day and Judy Garland and Peggy Lee. And it's almost like when I'm in that space of like listening to music from the past, it transports me. It puts me into this almost like magical other world. I was just in my car, in my own little space with my own music in this peaceful environment. And I was on the freeway and there were cars that were passing and all of this stuff was happening outside. But I was in my little bubble with my peaceful music and my calm nervous system, just traveling little by little to where I was supposed to go. And I share this analogy because we are supposed to do that in our own life. We're supposed to create the spaciousness and the comfort of our little world inside of our bubble so that we can interact with everything that's happening, all of the chaos, all of the destruction, and be safe. And that doesn't mean that we ignore it. It just means that we have our beautiful boundary that we worked so hard to cultivate. And then we can interact with the outside world without being affected by it, without our energy being affected by it. There is so much that is going to happen. And we really can't even say what's going to happen. But the person that you are now at the beginning of August is going to be so different than the person you are by the end of August. Be open and anticipate all of the excitement of what's to come, but also just be with those emotions of uncertainty that arise when we don't know, when we're in that in between. And remember too that in Mercury retrograde, it's a time to go back and complete things. It's a good time to declutter. It's a great time to really figure out where is there any excess, whether it's in your car or your desk or your closet or your computer or your phone, just clearing out the old to bring in the new energy. You can already start doing that even before Mercury goes retrograde. It might be a good time to really deep clean your house. It might be time to figure out what projects have you been kind of putting to the side and procrastinating on, or is there anything else in the past that is wanting to be looked at, wanting to be revisited? And it also means that it's a time to sort of slow. And it's interesting because we're in this summer energy. And I was just talking to a friend about this because I live in Phoenix, Arizona, and July and August are ridiculously hot. Sometimes it's gotten up to almost 120 degrees, which is literally just impossible to thrive in. And so it's like we feel this energy of summer wanting to go out and wanting to be seen and wanting to be active, but then the weather is saying you've got to stay in, you've got to go within. And so you might kind of feel that with the Mercury retrograde, where it's like there's this part of you that wants to be seen, and it's like, oh, it's Leo season, it's summer, I should be doing this or I should be doing that. Pay attention to the shoulds, because the way that you're going to be showing up this year, especially in Mercury retrograde, might look different. And we have to be okay with that. And that's why it's really important to listen to your heart. Leo is the heart. So as long as you're following your heart and your heart's calling, you're going to be fine. All right, let's get into the cards. And today I'm going to be working with the tarot and my deck, the Mermaid Empowerment Oracle, which you can get a copy of on my website at meganmermaid.com. I really hope that you can join me for this amazing Lionsgate ceremony on August 9th. I was guided to do it on the 9th because oftentimes the Lionsgate, the height, it can be very intense. And there's a lot that can kind of come through, but it's not always the best time to host things, as I've learned in previous years. I chose the 9th, or actually the 9th was chosen for me, and I was given that information from my guides because it's almost like the integration of whatever we received and the next steps. So this particular ceremony is going to be about how to ride that rhythmic storm. And we're going to be getting more information about the energy signature of this galactic year. And it's so funny because I really had kind of put the starseed stuff on the shelf for a while. And this past year, I've really been focusing on activism and focusing on planet Earth things. And I didn't even know if I would ever kind of revisit this. And then as soon as the Galactic New Year opened, it was like all of a sudden, like what I started to notice is that the supernatural became normal. There's a new normal here. I had just gone to Sedona last weekend. I was seeing starcrafts in the sky, and it wasn't even surprising. It was just like, oh yeah, there's starcrafts. I've noticed my psychic and spiritual gifts being more activated, especially my clairvoyance. I'm wondering if any of you guys have been experiencing that. But there's just a very different energy. And so the galactic energy is back. And I'm also offering galactic channeled readings for $44 off through the Lionsgate portal. And readings at this time hit different. So I encourage you, if you can find the space to do it during the Lionsgate portal. I've done a few this week and they have been so powerful. Like, I'm surprised. I'm just like, wow, I get to be a channel for this. That's so cool. But anyway, let's talk about the energy of this moon from the cards. We have Queen of Wands and we have Miracle. I love this. Queen of Wands is such powerful Leo energy, charisma, magnetism, attraction. Everybody wants the Queen of Wands, right? Everybody looks at the Queen of Wands like, wow, like I want to be like her. I want to know her. I want to know what she's about. I want to learn from her. The Queen of Wands is like the Beyonce of the tarot, right? She is just amazing at everything. And sometimes there's a part of us that feels fearful of stepping into that much power and that much light because, you know, we've really, especially as women, been socialized that it's not okay to shine that brightly. And this new moon is saying it's not even a question anymore. Like, you just need to shine that brightly. We all do. We all do. It's the only way that we're going to balance out the darker energies on this planet. So then we have Miracle. And the Mermaid Empowerment for Miracle is I am a magnet for miracles. So as long as we can shine and we can show up and we can follow our dreams and we can follow our passions, that's when the miracles are going to come in. And miracles are not only just for us to receive, but also for us to create for others. So how can you be a miracle maker? Set the intention. How can I be used to give miracles to others? Again, it's that energy of generosity. Sometimes we're the one that needs the miracle. Other times we have whatever resources or words or skills or abilities to offer the miracle to others, and both are equally satisfying. So then we have Freedom and the Three of Wands. I love this energy. So the Three of Wands, look at the fire on this card. There's so much fire in this moon portal. The Three of Wands is like kind of watching and waiting and really making strategic decisions. That's how I see it. It is a good omen for business. So if you have any intentions about, you know, bringing your business to the next level or your creativity or your entrepreneurial work, the Three of Wands is saying, go out and get it. Do that, do the steps. You're going to meet the right people. You're going to connect to the right places. And feeling this energy of where we need to be a little assertive, as in we need to put ourselves out there. Sometimes it might feel, especially, you know, as women, we're We're socialized to be a little more passive at times, but it's like we've got to reach out and grab opportunities. And I'm not talking about romantically, because in romance, the masculine energies are more set up to do the leading and the pursuing. But when it comes to the business world, this is where we need to sort of pursue the opportunities that present themselves while also still being in the flow. So it's kind of like this dance. And the mermaid empowerment for freedom is I free myself by letting go. So, in order to open the space for miracles, we have to let go. We have to declutter. We have to release the past, and we have to sit with what needs to be healed. That doesn't always feel fun, but it is a part of it. I know we had a lot of that in the last moon. We had a really difficult full moon in Capricorn, and you can go back and revisit that message if you want to know more about what was happening with all the Pluto energy and the conjunction between Mars and Uranus. There was a lot of chaos, a lot of chaos. And so we've got to let go of all of that. We're stepping into a new chapter now, and we've learned and we've grown and we've healed at least a little bit. So the challenge that we have is the Queen of Cups and imagination. So it's so interesting that we're stepping into the Queen of Wands energy, which is the energy of passion and making things happen, and really this spark of fire, this spark of desire. But the Queen of Cups energy, the shadow, can sometimes feel boundaryless or people pleasing, or in kind of like this why me kind of thing, like why does it never work for me, or how come the people that I care about don't care about me, you know what I mean? So it's like we can't be in that energy of like, oh, I'm the Queen of Wands, I'm gonna make things happen, if we're like and it doesn't mean that we can't feel our feelings. Like, oh my goodness, I've really been tapping into the energy of ecstasy and following the path of the ecstatic, which is one of many paths to awakening. And the true meaning of ecstasy is really towing the line between extreme joy and extreme sadness. So it's like you can feel all of it. And it's like, wow, I feel so alive. Like I feel so much joy. I feel so much elation. I feel so much excitement about what I'm creating and what's to come. And oh my goodness, like I feel the sting of heartbreak and grief and betrayal. And it's like we're feeling all of it and we're allowing it all to be. And when we have both of these sort of snake-like energies kind of weaving their way around us, that's when we feel this pulsating energy of aliveness, of humanity, of being awakened from the dream of sleep, of just existing in this hollow existence, in this numb, distracted existence. It's like, I'm alive, and it hurts, but it feels good, and okay, I'm here. And that's how we get into this balance between the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Wands. And that's when we can let our heart guide us into our passion. Now, the challenge is also imagination. And the mermaid empowerment for imagination is my imagination is my superpower. And so our imagination is our connection to God consciousness. And it is how God consciousness speaks to us. It gives us the visions, the messages, the intuitive hits that will allow us to see what's possible. But I feel with this Queen of Cups energy, along with imagination, that it's like, because we've been in such a heavy space of grief or sadness, we're not able to see what's possible. We have to start to peek our head over the water, over the emotional intensity, and start to see like, okay, all right, I've had to go through a lot. I'm still healing. I'm still working through it, but what's up here? I'm going to start seeing what's forward instead of just grieving what's behind me. So how do we get over that? The cards that we have is the Chariot and Attention. So the Chariot is all about self-mastery. It's about getting things done, balancing the light and the dark. We did a lot of shadow work in the last full moon. So this card Attention says, my attention attracts my reality. So your attention is like the GPS system for energy. Where attention goes, energy flows. So are you going to be paying attention to what's not working? Are you going to pay attention to what's not here anymore? Are you going to pay attention to the past? Which Mercury retrograde, it can bring us into this space of really almost nostalgia for the past, but forgetting why certain things are no longer in our life? Or are you going to focus your energy on balance, on the things that empower you, on the things that make you feel good, on accomplishing your goals and your dreams and your visions? That's what this moon is saying. Do the work and you'll be rewarded for it. Plant the seeds and you will reap the benefits. We also have death and perfect trust. This is fun, right? Whatever is falling away, there's deaths and rebirths. There's things that are falling away. There's things that aren't continuing on in this next galactic year, and that can feel difficult. And this perfect trust card is saying, I trust and know the universe has got me. So we've got to trust whatever has happened, whatever fell away. I work very deeply with the Morrigan, and she is this very powerful Celtic sovereignty goddess. And one of the most powerful messages she ever shared with me is let what's dead be dead. So I'll say that again. Let what's dead be dead, rather than ruminating on it, over analyzing, thinking, well, maybe if I would have done this, or what about this, or why did I do this, or maybe if I hadn't have done this, or maybe if I do this now, then no, we've got to let what's dead be dead. And it doesn't mean that resurrection is impossible. But it does mean that we've got to let it go. We've got to leave the past behind us. We have to leave the comfort of the known behind us. We have to take a leap into new, uncharted territory. But I promise you, with Leo energy, it gets to be fun. It gets to be playful. It gets to be joyful. And you don't have to do it alone. There's so many powerful spirit guides, as well as soul family members that are a part of your tribe that are here to co-create with you. So then we have creation and the 10 of Swords. This is a very potent combination. The 10 of Swords is like despair. Despair. There's no other way to describe it. It's just the ultimate despair. You know, whatever situation, whatever tower moment, it happened. The worst that could possibly happen, it happened. But the good news is it's over now. And it's like hitting that rock bottom and then realizing, okay, the only place I can go now is up. And this card creation says, I'm the artist of my fairy tale life. And so if we understand how any story works, there is always this moment, this plot twist where it feels like all hope is lost. And that's when it's always darkest before the dawn, right? We have to have that sense of excitement. We have to have the depths of what are no longer a part of this chapter in this story. But what I also want to talk about in this energy of creation is that in order to move past those heartbreaks, those betrayals, those deep periods of grief, we have to alchemize the energy into creation, into beauty. I recently went through a very, very devastating heartbreak, and I was blindsided by it. I didn't expect it at all. And the only thing that has kept me sane is creating. Literally, it's like, okay, I've got to dance it out. I've got to write this poem. I've got to make this art piece. I've got to do this. I've got to do that. And there's so much. And it's like turning the mud into the lotus continuously. And that's what we have to do, not only in our own lives, but also for the collective. I mean, right now, if you look around at what's happening on the planet, if you look at what's happening in Palestine, if you look at what people are going through, it will literally drive you mad. And that's why we have to be very cognizant of how we are taking in the information of suffering. We have to make sure that we're doing it from a place of compassionate witnessing, while also monitoring and honoring our own bandwidth limits, because there is a deep, deep sense of evil on this planet. And it may have been hidden before, but it is more prevalent. It is more seen than ever. And so that means that all of the suffering that is happening on the planet is literally like creating this cloud of confusion, of disempowerment, of helplessness. And so it's our job to take that energy, and it's like there's two parts of the divine mother energy. It's the creator and the destroyer. And so it's like we have to destroy the darkness and we have to create from it. We have to take all of the suffering and we have to transmute it, bring it back into beauty, bring it back into joy, whatever we can do to continue to bring love into this planet. That's our roles as light workers or star seeds or whatever you want to call yourself. You are an alchemist. You're supposed to take your pain, the pain of the world, other people's pain, everybody's pain, and figure out how to turn it into creativity, figure out how to turn it into something better, brighter, and more abundant for all of us. So there's so much here in this new moon in Leo. And I know that it is really going to propel you and give you this deep sense of hope. I really feel that for all of us. It's this sense of hope. It's this sense of, wow, the work that I've been doing is paying off. I am seeing a light at the end of the tunnel. There is hope for ourselves, for humanity, for this planet. So I hope you can join me on August 9th at 11:11 a.m. Pacific. It's going to be such a powerful and potent ceremony. And when we join in this co-creative space, especially in the Lion's Gate, not only are our intentions amplified, but we create this very powerful group synergy that continues to explode and catalyze and support the planet. So it's helpful for you, but it's also healing work that we're here to do and come together in this powerful group energy. You can also book your Galactic channeled reading through August 12th and save $44. And you can also book a free exploratory call if you're new to my work and you don't know where to start. Also, I'm now on the Everclear app. And so I'm offering readings through there, which is really great because sometimes you just have a few questions and you don't need a full hour session. And so you can also use phone or chat, which is great. So it gives you more options and ways of communicating, especially if you're in a space where there's not as much privacy. That chat function is like really helpful to get support and guidance and clarity on whatever issues that you are currently navigating through. And if you follow the link that is in the description below, you'll get 3 minutes free plus $20 to use towards phone and chat reading. So I'd love to connect with you through the Everclear app. And if you're a reader yourself and you're interested in joining, I also have a referral link. So you can message me and I will give you that information. I feel like we are in a space now we're really creating new ways to cultivate abundance. And so a lot of us have these really amazing spiritual gifts, but we're not in a space where we're reaching the audiences that can be helped by us. So if you have those spiritual gifts and you're a reader or you have these psychic abilities and it's just felt like you've had challenges in growing your business, joining the Everclear app is a great way to kind of co-create and be seen in your gifts and support a new community. So I'm so excited to be a part of that. You can find that information below. And again, I will see you for our full moon, powerful, powerful energy. And I hope that you have a wonderful new moon. Set the intention for self-love because you deserve it. And remember, if you shine and bask in the glow of your inner radiance, anything is possible. Love you all. Have a great evening.